Okay, welcome back to video 2. Now I'm just going to carry on from where I left off. So we're just going to be setting up our first Google AdWord, and like I explained, obviously you're going to need to do keyword research, and I'm going to carry on using the example of the keyword home business. So I've done a search for home business, and the software has brought up a lot of variations that I can use that include the term home business or are a variation of the term home business. So when it comes to choosing your keywords, I would stay away from the very competitive keywords, particularly if you're just getting started with Google AdWords pay-per-click advertising, because you will end up losing a lot of money if you don't really know what you're doing. So I'd stay clear from the very competitive keywords. So for the example of home business, let's just scroll down. Let's choose an example which isn't as competitive, because at the moment, you know, the term home business is getting nearly 30,000 searches per day, and that is extremely competitive, like I say. So if we choose one of the lesser competitive keywords, so let's go for business at home, which, you know, it still gets nearly 1,500 searches per day, but it's just nowhere near as competitive. So we can set up our first ad for that keyword, and as I explained in the previous video, it's all about getting as many clicks on your ads as possible, getting your conversion rate as high as possible. Obviously it's all about getting as many clicks as possible, but it's all about reducing your costing as well. And the way that we can reduce your costing is to get your ads conversion rate as high as possible, and the way to get your conversion rate as high as possible is to create a separate Google ad for each of your keywords. Okay, so for the first ad we're going to use the term business at home. Okay, now the language obviously English, and then we click on continue. So we're going to write our first ad. Now ideally we want our keyword phrase in the heading, because Google will make the keyword bold. So actually I'm just going to show you how this will work. When you can see it on Google, it'll probably help you understand exactly why we're doing this and what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to log into Google quickly. So the term business from home, or business at home, isn't it? Business at home. Okay. Now, if you look at the ads that are running at the moment, none of them actually have the full keyword business at home in the title. I mean, yeah, sure, they've got the term home business, home businesses, but that exact term isn't what this person who's sat at their computer, gone to Google and typed in. They've typed in the term business at home. So if they see an ad which has the title of what they've just typed in, business at home, then their brain is automatically going to gravitate towards that, because that's exactly what they've just searched for. Yeah, I mean, these ads are fairly relevant. They're obviously along the lines of to do with home business, but it's not laser pinpointed for this exact keyword. So we can actually get our ad's conversion higher, potentially higher than these ads, and we can potentially pay less for our ads because our conversion rate would be higher. Because if you remember the formula for where Google will place your ad, it's the price that you're bidding per keyword times your conversion rate, times your click-through rate. Okay, so let's write our ad with the keyword that we're targeting in the heading. So business at home. Okay, and are you looking for a business from home. Okay, and if you can, it's a good idea to have the keyword phrase that you're targeting in the body of the ad as well, because like I say, Google will bold the keyword phrase. So just imagine how much more that's going to stand out from these ads, where, because I mean we can see that the term home is bolded and business is bolded, but if we have the full term business at home in bold in the heading and in the body of the text, that will stand out. Okay, and then obviously the display URL is your website address, or that's what you want it to appear. You can have a variation of that, and then your destination is usually the same, but if you've had a slight, if you've put a slightly different display, if you want to put a different display on your ad, then the destination is really where the person will end up after they've clicked your ad. So there we go. Click on continue. Okay, so in here we will type our keyword phrase, just the one keyword phrase that we're using at the moment, business at home. Click on continue. And here we will enter our daily budget. Okay. Now when you're just starting out, it's probably best to start with quite a small daily budget. You don't want to run up too much of a bill when you're just kind of experimenting and seeing what keywords are working and which aren't. So I would recommend that you start with a very small daily budget, just for the first few days at least, of maybe $10. And here, maximum cost per bid. This is how much we're willing to bid for our keyword. Now, this is where you're going to have to experiment, and it's going to take a bit of time to test different keywords, test different bids, to see where your ads are ranked. So it's all about just testing. So we can start our maximum bid maybe for the keyword business at home. It's not going to be an incredibly competitive keyword. It's still going to be fairly competitive. So for the example of that, let's say 50 cents. And then let's hit continue. Okay, so we've just created our first ad for the keyword business at home, and that will start showing literally within 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. So you can start generating traffic back to your website within 5 or 10 minutes, and that is very, very powerful. Okay, so through the AdWord Analyzer, or whichever software you decide to use for your keyword research, you can then pick out some other keywords that you'd like to use. So let's carry on the example. Let's go for an even lesser competitive keyword. Let's go down towards the bottom.